Hi everybody, how's it going? Hope it's going good for you. As usual, it's not going good for me. I'm gonna let you in on the things that go through my head. Um, I'm gonna give you a warning right now. It's gonna be pretty bad. Uh, Without my medication, I have constant thoughts of hurting myself, hurting other people. Um, I get visions in my head about once every 10 minutes of my daughter dying in a fire or a drowning. Um, this is constant. It sucks. Um, I About 6 months ago, uh, I had a breakdown. I got put in the hospital for 2 weeks, and I got out with the right kind of medication. Um, the lithium and Latuda, the lithium was stopping my horrible thoughts after about a week of taking it. I was amazed. I was like, I cannot believe they finally got a medication to make these fucking thoughts stop. I get out of the hospital. I started a new job at the time. Believe it or not, I still had the job while I was in the hospital. I didn't even start it yet, but they said they would wait an extra week. I didn't tell them I was in the hospital. So I was like, all right. And I had my car that broke down at the time. That's what caused my mental breakdown. Well, I got out of the hospital and I managed to get the car running again. That's what made me go back to church because that was something that I prayed for, that it would be something easy to fix, and it was. Uh, I started my new job. It was 12 hours a day and about a 100-degree temperature, which I have silicosis and COPD. Extreme temperatures are very, very hard to breathe in, let alone to work 12 hours a day in. I toughed it out as long as I could. And then one day they started giving me a bunch of shit for no reason. So I quit because I can't handle the things that were going on at the time, because the state of Pennsylvania decided to cut my Medicare or my Medicaid, whatever it is that you're on when you're on the state. They knew I was in the hospital for suicidal thoughts. They knew what was going on. They decided to cut my insurance, which means no more medication. Because I wasn't at that other job long enough to get benefits, and they really weren't concerned about giving you benefits either. Uh, when I got the letter in the mail, because I have a post office box that I kept, I'm probably gonna end up having to, lose that here pretty quick. When I got the letter in the mail, I only had about a week's worth of medication left. So picture, you know, a month and a half ago, you were in the hospital and you got out and things were still rough, but the medication was helping you big time. Then all of a sudden, you're faced with no more medication. This is what I went through. And now all these horrible thoughts are all coming back. Um, every night when I go to bed, I lay down and all I think about is the horrible stuff that has been done to me over the course of my life. And then there's times where I think about all the horrible things I've done and the guilt that I have over it. Um, the medication was stopping all of these thoughts. And like I said, now they're all back again. Uh, it doesn't make any sense for me to reapply for health insurance through the state because they're just gonna come up with some friggin' reason. I'm starting to feel like they want me to flip the fuck out. Um, just these little games that they're playing, the same thing with Social Security. You watch my video on how Social Security fucked with me. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like they are doing this shit on purpose. Um, I don't have anywhere else to turn. I've turned everywhere. The church helped me out for a little bit. They put me up in a hotel for like 4 days. I was right back to living in my van. Um, I did eventually find a job. Yes, currently have a job right now, but the problem is I have about a quarter tank of gas and I have to go another week yet before I get paid. And work is about like a 30-mile round trip because I really can't stay. My driving privilege is suspended in the state that I'm working in, but not the state that I'm living in. So I have to drive across state lines and risk getting caught so I can keep going back and forth to work. Um, this is the predicament that I'm in, you know. I'm not going to sit here and put the blame totally on the state because it's not. A lot of it's my own personal decisions. But when I have, issues mentally, now I have a physical illness now. I found out 2 years ago it's actually going to kill me in about 20 years. This is a lot of rough shit for a person in my situation to be fucking dealing with. Um, and I've gotten to the point where I don't want to deal with it anymore. I just don't. I'm tired of the thoughts in my head all the time. But contrary to what you guys might all think, no, there's not resources for everybody. I know this is America. This is not supposed to be happening. Look at what's going on in California with the wildfires. Everybody's blaming the government for that. Yeah, was it a coincidence that some of the reservoirs had no water in them and that there's no water pressure? It was all timing. You know what I mean? If you guys can all say that looks like it was purposely done, then I can say it looks like Pennsylvania's purposely trying to get me to flip the fuck out. I don't know what else to do. I really do not want to hurt an innocent person, but that seems to be the only way to make them to hear you. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been in a hospital 3 times now over the last 10 years. 3 times. And each time it was like, except for this last time, the 2 times before, it was like putting a band-aid on the problem and saying, oh, well, your insurance ran out, so it's time for you to leave. Didn't matter if I was still fucked up or not. Just like some of the things that I saw when I was in the hospital most recently. There was a lot of people in that psych ward that I was in that were fucking rich. And I'm not kidding. So for you people who think that money is the cure of all things, it's not. There was a lot of people in there that were pretty well off, lived in those golf course communities, those gated communities. That's fucking rich. And they were in there with the same fucking problems I have. So money is not going to fucking change that. Like a lot of you seem to think. Oh, rich people don't have nothing to worry about. What? They can still be affected by all the same stuff. And while I'm on that subject, aren't you guys all wishing you were rich? Aren't you all trying to be successful? Then why are you demonizing success? This is what I'm talking about. Like I said, I don't like the world anymore. I don't want to see it anymore. But unfortunately, to go back and forth to work, I got to deal with people. I got to deal with people at my job. And people at my job are mostly ghetto city dumb fuckers. I just hate the way they talk. I hate their fucking attitudes. But this is, part of the world we live in. I don't want to live in this world anymore. I really don't.